Hey everybody, it's Tori from Avalon Enchanted. I hope everybody is doing well this evening. This is the Ascended Illuminations reading for sorry, I forgot what I saw something. For January 23rd through January 29th. And we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot going on. So what I'm going to say is you are actually catching this on the YouTube feed. So thank you for doing that. As you know, we do go live on Facebook doing the Ascended Illuminations reading. However, we don't, we're not leaving the Ascended Illuminations reading up. What we're doing is then putting in the link to take you to YouTube in order to see the recorded version and get more content. So I wanted to talk briefly of so when you're catching this, please do hashtag replay. Make sure to sign up by clicking on the bell and liking and following and sharing our work with Avalon Enchanted. We're a small metaphysical studio and healing art studio in Wickford, Rhode Island. So my business partner Cindy and I do this as a way of being able to help reach different people, answer people's questions, provide guidance, all through a path of love and healing. So we have a lot of different things that we offer, whether it be from one-on-one personal coaching sessions to healings to readings. We also do different events. We do have some events that are coming up. I know Cindy has an event. I know she took that one down, I think. We actually have a Bridget ceremony coming up on February 1st. All of our event information can be found on our page on Eventbrite. So hop on over to Eventbrite. Remember to share and follow and like our profile on Eventbrite, and you'll be alerted to any new activities, events, etc., that we put up there. So Bridget and her cauldron, it's an in-bulk ceremony bringing in the spring, is going to be happening on February 1st. We also have a really great event on February 13th in the entire village. It's actually Galentine's Day. So we're celebrating on Galentine's Day with all of the different shop owners there, the opportunity to come in and shop for yourselves, maybe get a reading, and so on that day. So we're also offering from 6:30 to 8:30. The ticket is actually on Eventbrite for the Galentine's Day table tipping. That's something you're going to want to not miss. It's $99 for a pair. So you can bring a friend and connect with loved ones on the other side, or pets, or spirit guides, or ascended masters. So that's always a good thing. We also have a really cool event that we're going to be doing on February 22nd on Stargates. So some of you may not know that I actually have done a fair amount of traveling over the last couple of years, and we've actually gone to a number of the different Stargates while I was in Egypt. We've also, so we're going to be looking at Stargates, we're going to be looking at portals, we're going to be looking at magical spaces that potentially take us to other dimensions, and we're going to be doing a guided meditation for that. Cindy's going to actually be doing a really great event on navigating through soul burnout. So if you are in the process of just kind of waking up, coming online, as we like to say, and trying to figure out what's going on, but you kind of feel like you're spinning your wheels, maybe you feel very, very tired with all the energy that's been going on, this is a great opportunity to do that. She's going to give you some tips and ideas as to how to kind of navigate through this, so that way your work, your spiritual work that you're doing this time around is supported and meaningful. So, and then I'm also going to be teaching a class on fairy magic on Zoom. That is going to be on the 26th of February. So we do have a lot going on. I'll be glad when other people start to come on into the village. And once we get past the holidays, things kind of quiet down a little bit, which is understandable. Um, so it would be nice to kind of start getting into some new things and getting into the very beginnings of spring. So that way we can start to bring in the prosperity and bring in all of the newness and the abundance that comes in usually with the rites of spring. So we'll be talking about all of that, and we look forward to that. So what I'm going to do is bring in the Facebook feed. I'm just shuffling my cards. For those of you that know, I actually I choose 3 oracle cards. I choose them ahead of time. I literally just shuffle and pull them. Okay. So I shuffled and pulled 3 cards. And the 3 cards that I got, I actually chose to work with the Ocean Oracle. Okay. So the 3 cards that we had, so if you chose A, or the first one, that one would be the ventricle harp. It looks like this, the ventricle heart. Okay. And, or sorry, ventral harp, because it kind of looks like a harp. Um, the information on it is the intended victim will be the victor, a complete reversal, present sacrifice for future reward. Okay, that's kind of interesting. That one's A. And B is a melon baller bowl or bolt. Okay. And this one is need to bail out of a situation. That's B or 2. And then the third one is giant bittersweet. This is a bivalve. And it's concerned with efficiency and accomplishment, disliking waste. So those were the 3 that you chose from for the reading. I'm also going to be pulling from my Divine Masters deck to see potentially who might pop up for each thing. And if there's any other messages, because we have a lot to talk about. We have the planetary alignment going on this week, or this week coming up starting on the 25th, peaking on the 29th, and then returning back again near the end of February. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. I'll probably talk about that after the reading as part of the content that you guys are catching now. So stay tuned for that. But we're going to be doing the 3 readings. We're going to be seeing who potentially might be stepping forward, what messages that we might have for this particular week, because I will tell you, it's been an interesting week. Definitely been an interesting week. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and bring in the other people on Facebook, and we're going to get this party started. All right, so stay tuned. This is the part that always gets a little tricky for me, because it's navigating all of the different tech. Here, switch that, switch. So we're live on Facebook. We're live on the recording, which is going to be going up to YouTube. We'll talk about that in just a minute. We'll see if some people can hop on. But yeah, it's definitely been a very interesting week. And I feel like this is kind of a week that people really kind of needed to kind of, the energy has been definitely very confusing this week. The energy has definitely been very thick this week, I feel. So I feel like there's a lot that I feel people need to know about what to expect, what's going on, and so on. So if you are catching this, please say, hey, let me know that you're on. And again, if you're catching this as a replay, please do hashtag replay. We do one other thing. Let me just copy this. Throw it so I can throw it up on my personal page. Come on. Hey, Renee. We're just starting to get started, so all is good. Oh, I want to go here. Oh, cool. It is doing what it's supposed to do. All right, cool. Awesome. So as I was just saying, what we're doing is we're putting the replay. So moving forward, what we're going to do, or when I'm doing the reading, I should say, what we're going to do is record the reading and then put it up to YouTube. And it's going to have even more content when it hits YouTube. So that way you'll get a lot more details of stuff that's going on, and things of that nature, what to expect, and even some bonus readings and just stuff like that. So that's something that is kind of good to know. So that should be up, I would say, probably first thing in the morning on YouTube. And so please remember to like and hit the bell so you are alerted to any new videos that we drop up on YouTube, because the videos that we put up on YouTube have more content. Sometimes they might have specials that we offer. Sometimes they might have special conversations, special readings, etc., stuff like that. So always good to know. The link will be on Facebook for YouTube in the morning. So I'll announce that when that's up and ready to go. So for joining us today, our 1, 2, 3, our one is the ventral harp. So I went with seashells. This is my seashells oracle. And it is the intended victim will be the victor, a complete reversal, present sacrifice for future reward. All right, it's 1, 2, 2. This is the melon ball revolt, needing to bail out of a situation. And then 3, what the heck? Let's see. 3 is the giant bittersweet, and it is concerned with efficiency and accomplishment, disliking waste. Whatever that means. So those are the 1, 2, 3s that we're going to be doing this evening. So interestingly enough, little background, when I was actually at the zoo and early on when I came back to Rhode Island, I did a lot with seashells. I basically did an entire seashell themed wedding for Mark and myself. And I have a very extensive um, seashell collection that is from shells all over the world. Some of them are all sorts of really cool specimen shells. Those are some shells that my grandmother actually started collecting on, and I was able to get her collection, which was very nice. So there's a lot with seashells that I know about, and a lot of seashells I have. I kind of got away from the seashell theme. I basically blinged out the entire house in seashells and decided that, okay, I think I need to kind of calm things down on the seashells a little bit. But for some reason, I was just drawn to these cards to pull out today. So, all right, so we're going to be reading the first one, which is the Ventral Harp. Okay, Ventral Harp. And I am shuffling. So I'm sorry I didn't actually make it on and do the reading last week. It was one of those things where there was just so much going on that it was just a lot. So my apologies on that. Okay. This is definitely interesting. I'll explain. So, hey, Haida. So the ventral heart, like I said, intended victim will be the victor, complete reversal, present sacrifice for future reward. Okay. To me, this looks like there's a fair amount of stuff that's kind of blowing up. We do have the death card, which is usually associated with something coming to an end. But we also have to take that into consideration that if you've chosen A, there may be some things that maybe you've been working on that are in the process of winding down, shall we say. That usually means, though, that there are going to be new things coming in. But I'm going to say it's kind of up to you in terms of how you view things and how you manifest in order to bring things um, in abundance. Okay. You have kind of a fork in the road, and you can kind of go two ways. You could either kind of look at the glass half empty and really kind of focus on what went down, or look ahead and look at the opportunities of new and wonderful coming in. All right. Um, this is going to be a trying time. Like I said, with the ventral harp, um, it's interesting because present sacrifice for future reward. So to me, there's things that need to shed. There are things that you need to get rid of. There are things that you're going to need to stand your ground on, or potentially just kind of cut away in order to bring about what you need to bring in. We do have the Five of Pentacles, which usually is a card that focuses on loss of abundance. So I am going to be open and honest about this. And it's going to be a rough week. If you've chosen A, it's definitely going to be a little bit of a rough week. You are going to find that you really are kind of standing on guard, and you're kind of like standing, how do I say this? You're almost like waiting for the other shoe to drop. All right. So you do need to kind of be careful. You do need to make sure that you have all of your ducks in a row, and that you're on guard, that you are ready, and that you're prepared, you know. Um, we got the Queen of Swords, and swords, like as I've said in the past, can either cut you or protect you. How are you going to use your sword? Are you going to use it in order to protect yourself? Or are you going to use it in order to cut yourself away from what's not working? That's the big question that I kind of feel for A. If I pull another card, I got the Strength card. All right. The Strength card is all about making sure that we are Digging deep. So I'm hearing in the back of my mind, this week is going to be a marathon, not a sprint. Okay. It's going to be a marathon, not a sprint. And with the fact that we're also bringing in the what is it? The planets lining up. It's going to be starting on the 25th. It's going to be peaking on the 29th. Then we're going to be able to catch it again at the end of February. There's some themes that also kind of came out with this alignment that's due to hit. This planetary alignment includes for January, includes Mars, it includes Jupiter, it includes Uranus, Neptune, Venus, and Saturn. Okay. And it's not necessarily like an alignment on their orbits. It's like kind of like how they're looking from from our perspective and our point of view. So we're going to want to remember that we can't rush things this week, especially during this alignment. We're also going to want to make sure that we're breaking through imposed blocks and we're shaking up anything that's holding us back. And this to me is, are we going to let things hold us back? Because then things are going to spill over into the following weeks, and that's going to be more detrimental. Or are we going to allow ourselves to shake off and keep moving forward? There's just going to be a lot in terms of a lot of symbols of cosmic order, a lot of symbols of unity. There's going to be, we're going to need to kind of unpack our emotional patterns, if you will, and dig deep into spiritual insight during this time. Okay. So those are some of the things that are showing for A or 1, if you chose 1, the ventral harp. All right. So let's take a look at the next one, which is it's called the melon baller. So the melon baller. I actually have one of those in my collection. I actually have that harp thing in my collection too. Like I said, I do have a pretty extensive shell collection that would make a conchologist very jealous. So as I was saying, this week the energy's just been kind of crazy. And I know a lot of people are really feeling a lot of anxiety. They're feeling like everything's kind of being blown up. Um, so I think in this chaos, we have to kind of look for some of these things that are appearing as symbols, signs, and things like that for us. All right. And kind of use those to kind of decipher what to focus on and what to maybe put on the back burner, what to maybe let go of, things like that. I'm going to give it one more shuffle. Oh, but before I do that, I'm also going to pull a card. Let's see what comes up for the ventral harp. Who comes up? Ah, Joan of Arc, sacred activist. Do not be afraid. Stand up for your beliefs. Makes sense to me. So let's see what we got for the melon baller. All right, we got the magician, we got the king of pentacles, we got the 5 of pentacles. Beneath us, we have the emperor. Above us, we have the 9 of wands. In front of us, we have the ace of cups, and we also have the star card. We have the moon card. In emotional house, we actually have the 7 of pentacles. And then for outcome, we got the empress. We got the 4 of pentacles. And we have the knight of swords. All right, so let's see what we got. Needing to bail out of a situation. Let's see what we got. You know, it's interesting because we may not necessarily be seeing the full picture on things, especially with the moon card, but we have a lot of good cards here. You know, you may kind of feel like you're starting out on something, or if something that you've been already trying, kind of starting out on already. It's definitely been a little bit of a road, but it's kind of like one of those things where you're getting it. You're understanding it. Now the question is, with the fact that we've selected the melon baller volt, um, needing to bail out of a situation, to me, it's a card of transition. You when we know we need to move on from something, literally, we are letting go of maybe our pride. We're letting go of maybe our ego saying we got to finish something. Um, and we're trying to trust the universe to guide us in the right direction. So to me, there are things, and it's interesting because in the past we had the Five of Pentacles, which is a lost card, like I said earlier. So this is a spread where, allowing things to that's not serving you, that is old and worn out, in terms of patterns and programs. Let them go. There's new stuff coming in. You may not necessarily be seeing the whole picture on it, but you're going to figure it out. There is the need for patience, and also making sure that you're not charging into something new. So, taking your time is what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. So sometimes when we are in the situation, we get out of it, but then we hop right back into another situation. So, and then we find ourselves kind of going, was that really worth it? So to me, this is kind of saying, maybe release something that's not working, or get out of the situation that you're in. Give yourself time. Don't jump with both feet into something that that you're not thinking through on. So don't do that. But to me, there's a lot of good stuff coming in. There is the need to make sure that you're being careful. Like I said, there's the need to be patient, but there's a lot of fertility, like with the Ace of Cups and the Empress and the Star. Those are all great cards, and those tell me that by giving it up to the universe and allowing yourself to go with the flow, you're going to be rewarded. You may not necessarily see the full picture on the field of how things go, but you're going to be rewarded. Okay. All right. Let me pull another card. Let's see what Divine Master pops in. Thoth, Divine Magic. The teacher awakens. The student becomes the master. All right. So to me, it's shedding, you know, with Divine Magic, the teacher awakens, the student becomes the master. You're shedding off one cloak to be able to be enlightened and seen and in the center of attention. So that makes a lot of sense. Let me see if there's anything that he has to say. Come on. All right. So Thoth is actually the ancient Egyptian ibis-headed god of writing, divine magic, and the moon. And it's interesting because we have the moon card too, right? Acknowledged as the sacred scribe who created writing, he also was considered to be the maintainer of the Egyptian universe. And it said he was the priest king of Atlantis and was dedicated to leading the Atlantean people in a loving way that was firm but fair. However, no matter how hard he tried to direct them, many of them did not obey the spiritual laws, which brought the cataclysmic end to their civilization. And in the Western magical community, Thoth is seen as an all-powerful spiritual guide who can help us understand the energy of magic and the power of our will. He's the mastermind behind the Hermetic texts, and the ancient Greeks knew him as Hermes, Trismegistus, and the Romans as Mercury. When you feel called to this master, it's because divine magic is unfolding in and around your world, and you're ready to write the story of your life. So his message, and let's see, we had Mercury. No, Mercury did not pop up on that. Interesting. Okay. So the powers of heaven and earth are uniting at this time, putting the power of creation into your hands. Whatever you set out to do, you will do. You are in a vortex of manifestation. All of the lessons that have passed, all of the lessons of the past have given you a better understanding of what was to be best for your highest and good and truth. And you are a magical being who deserves to have a magical life. Believe in who you are and call in all that you need and more. You are no longer a student, you are the teacher. Take everything you have learned and put it to use. Your life will never feel complete or fulfilled until you share what you have experienced during this incarnation. There are lessons to be learned from the events of your life that will be the great gifts to those who receive them. Take the time to create a plan of action and put down in writing what you intend to do so the universe can bear witness to it and support its unfoldment. But to me, that's a form of manifestation. So that makes a lot of sense. I'm glad that Thoth stepped forward because it's really kind of telling you to, eliminate what you don't need to deal with, because you need to move on and you need to, alchemically speaking, transition into the next phase. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at 3, which is the giant bittersweet of bivalve. Again, concerned with efficiency and accomplishment, disliking waste. So yeah, we got the planets lining up starting on the 25th, and they should definitely be visible. They peak, so they start on the 25th, they peak on the 29th, and then we'll get another chance to see them again on the 28th of February. So, all right, let's see. King of Cups, covered by the Sun card. Okay. Behind us is Justice. Beneath us is the Two of Swords. And above us is the, why am I blanking out? Basically the High Priestess. Ahead of us, though, is the Four of Cups, the Knight of Swords. The emotional house is Three of Pentacles. Four of Swords is our emotional. And then outcome, the Fool. Six of Swords. And then also the Knight of Wands. All right. I'm going to pull one more of these. This is the Ascended Master for the giant bittersweet. Shiva. Karma release, the end of a cycle. Debts are paid. Choose your destiny. Interesting. Okay. Let's see what we got. To me, this is if you have things that you know you need to change, if you have things that you know are not in balance, you know the universe is talking to you, you know that the universe is telling you and is showing you. It may not necessarily be kind of what the direction is that you want to go in, but there is a need to move forward. There is a need to move through things. There's also going to be a little bit of a learning curve, and there's going to be a need for some downtime in order to be able to kind of allow everything to kind of come in and integrate. So to me, this is all about um, taking things to the next level, allowing what you've learned in terms of um, fine tuning it, streamlining it, integrating it, and moving forward. There may be a little bit of fear in terms of moving forward with the next step or the next adventure, but there's a need to do so because if you and here's the card that is kind of sticking out to me because you have the Fool on one side, you have the Eight of Swords in the middle, and then you have the Knight of Wands, which is all about, like I said, forward movement, new growth. But this is like, okay, I'm feeling stuck in the middle. What direction do I go in? So to me, this is almost like you do have a couple of different things to choose from. So there's a need to choose wisely, you know. Um, there's also, in some cases, a couple of different ways of doing things. So you're going to find yourself kind of looking for um, the ability to kind of choose which direction or which process resonates with you, which makes the most sense. And with a giant bittersweet, it's ultimately saying a need for focusing on working smarter, not harder, not reinventing the wheel, um, focusing on streamlining things. All right. Let's see what Shiva has to say. Come on, Shiva, where are you? All right. So Shiva is one of the Indians' trinity of divine masculine gods. He's depicted wearing a cobra around his neck, representing his capacity to tame fear or ego, with the light of the universe behind him, showing his connection to the cosmos and holding a trident, acknowledging the three aspects of divine masculine power in Hinduism: creator, preserver, and destroyer. Shiva is known as the Destroyer Lord because of his warrior energy and ability to destroy fear as the twin flame of Kali Ma. He also knows what it's like to face some of the greatest fears and overcome them. I'm going to show the picture of Shiva again. All right, so there's Shiva. So Shiva's known as the Destroyer Lord, like I said. As a facet of divine masculine energy, he comes to those who call on him like a protective father figure, ready to guard and guide. He's the keeper of the karma and helps us uncover the learnings that have come from our challenges and the behaviors that manifested the challenges in the first place. So his message is that it's a time to release any guilt or regrets that you have about your past. If a decision you have taken is preying on your mind, hey, Pamela, then know that it's not because the universe wants you to feel guilty about it, but it's because it's giving you the opportunity to see how far you've come. Also know that all of that your debts have been paid and that you can stop asking the universe for forgiveness because as far as it's concerned, you are forgiven. If you have any recurring fears or concerns about about a situation that's new, it might be because you've faced a similar situation in previous lifetimes and that your soul is remembering old pain. And in order to surmount this once and for all, it's important to tune into your body and feel the reassurance of a huge full body yes before moving forward. Even if following the dream or vision is scary, know that you have been waiting lifetimes upon lifetimes for this opportunity. And when you finally take it, you're breaking a cycle and taking charge of your destiny. So I like that. I really like that. And again, that is fine-tuning, shedding what you don't need, shedding what's not effective to you, and going about doing things that are for your highest and best. But it's also about paying attention to what is being offered. It's about paying attention to the patterns, um, whether it be attention, if someone's offering help, like a collaboration, um, if your body is telling you, hey, slow down, listen, that is something that's important. It's interesting. I just pulled another card and I got the Hanged Man. So to me, it's about maybe looking at things at different perspectives, you know? But it's all about streamlining. It's all about allowing yourself to let go and focus on what is coming in, and um doing things in a way that are productive and in your highest and best. So that makes a lot of sense. Um so yeah, so those are the three readings for this week. Again, we have the planetary alignment starting on the 25th, peaking on the 29th. Definitely go out and check that out. As far as that is concerned, there's a couple of things to kind of remember. A reminder that you can't rush into anything. Breaking through imposed blocks is going to be important, and shaking off anything holding you back is going to be important. You're going to see potential symbols of cosmic order and unity during this alignment. It's also going to be a time to reconnect with physical selves, also unpacking emotional patterns and deepen spiritual insight. So, as you're doing things this week, take time to kind of maybe ask yourself, spiritually speaking, is this something that's, well, using your discernment ultimately? Is it in your highest and best? Is it something that makes sense? Um, does it bring you deeper? Does it allow you to make further progress on your spiritual goals, on your spiritual path? Okay. Again, it's going to be Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, Venus, and Saturn. And there's going to be a sense of calm after years of upheaval, is kind of what a lot of the places, or I should say a lot of the different um astrological sites are saying. Um, I think right now it's about getting rid of what you don't need and simplifying, and being really in touch with your soul, in touch with yourself, and being open to spiritual insight. That's what I read out of this. So I will put the update on um, YouTube. So this video will actually be uploaded to YouTube. The link will be shared on Facebook. So make sure if you missed anything, check out the link when it goes up to YouTube, because there'll be more content. So take care, everybody, and have a great evening. Bye. All right. So um, I want to get rid of this. Keep it for 6 months. No. Okay. There we go. All right. So let's talk, because I feel like there's a lot to talk about. Um, I will say this, based upon what we just pulled, the spiritual alignment this week in particular is going to be a little bit, I'm going to use the word complicated. Why do I mean that? because there's a lot of stuff going on in the universe that is almost like a push and pull. Um, Again, there's going to be a lot of stuff that happens really quickly this week, especially during this planetary alignment, which I think is one of the reasons as to why it's so important to remember not to rush into things. You know, take your time on things this week. Um, and letting things go. Letting things go is going to be really important this week, I feel. You know, there's going to be a lot of change coming. Um, we had a lot going on with earlier in the week. I'm not going to mention it because I don't want to get dinged. But what I'm going to say is that we are going to kind of need to find a new normal on things, and it's going to take some time. So I think there are going to be some people that are going to be like, you know, let's try and shake things up. Let's try and completely change things all altogether. I feel like that's going to kind of freak a lot of people out. Um, Sometimes change is good, but it needs to be done in such a way where things are not rushed and where um things are done from a thoughtful place. Okay. Um, so I think that is going to be something that's really important coming up this week. There are going to be things that you may very well feel very triggered on this week. I know I feel that that's probably going to be something that a lot of people will be struggling with. Question is, how do you respond to things? Do you find yourself basically just going off the deep end and being like, worrying about everything? Or do you find yourself kind of taking a breath, taking a moment? If you need to kind of step away from it for a little bit and then, come back to it and reassess, you may need to do that. Charging in and doing things kind of willy-nilly, I think it's going to be more harmful than helpful this week. I feel like it's going to be more harmful for people who are trying to um, process a lot of the changes. I also think that there's a lot of changes that the universe is throwing at us as a way of, I'm going to use the word kind of keeping us off kilter. So keep that in mind. So I want to pull a couple of oracle cards here. In this case, they're the Ascended Masters cards, because I also want to get an idea of what the Ascended Masters are saying about the planetary alignment. All right. We got Lady Nada, expanded heart, openness, liberation, let yourself love and be loved. Okay. So that is interesting. Um, to me, this is a focus on the Four of Swords, the card where it's like it's a downtime. It's allowing yourself to spend some time to recharge yourself and recharge your batteries and to love yourself. Um, I think we're going to need to kind of come at this with the planetary alignment from a place where we're bringing it through our heart space in order to kind of help filter things. All right, we had a whole bunch of cards that just flew out. Let's see. We got Michael and Faith, spiritual calling, divine protection, breakthrough moment. So you may find that there's going to be a need in order to bring forward, spiritual protection this week. Um, let's see what this is all about. I haven't had this one come up before. All right. Archangel Michael is one of the best known and most trusted angels across the cosmos. He's the leader of the God's protective legion of angels and works tirelessly to guard all those who call on him for protection from lower vibrational forces and negativity. Archangel Faith is his twin flame, as her name suggests. The powerful feminine Archangel helps us move into a deeper state of faith and trust, both in our higher power and in the goodness that runs through humanity itself. Both of these angelic beings can create a powerful force field around you so that you can feel safe to be yourself and maybe reveal some of the tender aspects of yourself and your spiritual talents. For the most part, Michael and Faith are with every light worker that walks the planet, and just by thinking of them, we invoke their protection. So the universe needs you. Where you are now is where you are most needed. Consider yourself strategically placed. Even where you are is Even if where you are is less than ideal, know that there's an opportunity there to align with purpose and meaning. And if you are experiencing a dark cloud of uncertainty or fear, call in Michael and Faith to light the way. If you have been asking to be shown your life purpose, know that whether you are right now um, and what you are facing will help you be of greater service. Your life is destined to be aligned to spirituality and higher purpose. And this particular challenge is actually the moment when you break through into a greater understanding of who you truly are and why you're here at this specific time. That's kind of an interesting thing, because remember, with the planetary alignment, it talked about deepening our spiritual insight, um not charging into anything, um finding symbols for cosmic order and unity. So there's going to be a need for protection, because we are going to need to kind of keep our hearts a little bit guarded in order to have everything filter through. Okay, and let's see what the third card comes up with. So there's tickets available for the Bridget Cauldron ceremony. There's tickets available for the Galentine's Day table tipping in Wickford. There's also seats available for the Stargate class on the 22nd. I'm actually really excited about that one, because when I was in Egypt, we actually went to a number of locations, temples and things like that, that potentially were stargates. It's thought that there's stargates and portals with Stonehenge and Glastonbury and God, certainly in some of the Mayan temples as well. So, all right, let's see what we come up with. Joan of Arc, sacred activist. Don't be afraid. Stand up for your beliefs. See if there's anything she has to say. She's the Catholic saint and French heroine who's widely loved and respected for her role during the siege of Orleans in the 15th century during the Hundred Years' War, when she was a warrior helping to push the English out of France. Joan is reported to have been a visionary who encountered Archangel Michael and the various saints from the age of 13 onward. Through these encounters, she developed the strength and the courage to lead her at the age of 17 to experience the voice of God telling her to expel the English from France. And although there were challenges along the way, she was able to lead the French to victory at Orleans. And her message is, don't be afraid of your most authentic self. Don't be afraid of the passion that is moving through you, and don't be afraid of the power and the gifts that you were born with. Right now, there's a huge opportunity for you to stand up for what you know and what you believe. You might feel as though the world is against you, but there's something in your spirit that's telling you not to give up. If you feel unrecognized or misunderstood, don't let this lack of validation get between you and what you know is right. Today's message is a message of confirmation. You're on to something, and it's important that you don't pull back. Keep going, keep driving, keep pushing, because your truth will prevail. The greatest support that you can have is the support of the universe. Call in the light of God and the angels and stand strong in your beliefs, because the challenge that you're facing is an opportunity to understand the purpose of your life. Believe, trust, go. Again, there is this focus of deepening our spiritual insight. Standing up for what we believe in. Also making sure that we are entrusting ourselves with the love and the respect that we know that we need and that our body needs. So that's something I find really interesting. So there may be some things that are a little bit weird this week with the planetary alignment. Just know that you're going to get through it. Just know that you may find that it can be a little bit overwhelming. Don't be afraid. Stand up for your beliefs. Call in Michael and Faith. They're there to assist you. You know, they're there to help guide you. They're there to kind of help be your anchor, so to speak, during this interesting journey that you're on during this week with the planetary alignment. So don't be afraid to reach out to them. So I hope this all helps. Again, please make sure that you head over to Eventbrite in order to catch our events. You can sign up that way. If you're interested in working on one-on-one coaching, by all means, reach out to me at Tori at AvalonEnchanted.com. Tori at AvalonEnchanted.com. I do a lot with helping people who are just in the process of understanding their gifts, trying to find out their path, trying to also find out what talents that they have within the metaphysical world, within the spiritual world. How are they connected? How are they wired? How are they going to get the information from spirit that best suits them? So we do a lot of work with that. We do a lot of work with focusing with Sekhmet, you know, with all the travels that I've done, especially through Egypt. I do a lot of work with Sekhmet, who's all about focusing on healing, but she's also all about getting rid of what's not working for you, clearing away the foundation to bring in what you need, you know. That's something that's really, really important, especially as you are if you're embarking on a spiritual path. So we do offer the Sekhem Reiki, as well as Sekhem Reiki priestess training that is available. So definitely hit me up for that if that's something that you're interested in. And I hope you have a wonderful day, morning, evening, whenever you're watching this. And we hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.